Hello students, this is your continuation of the last video, second chapter national income. We are discussing about three methods calculating national income. We completed product method, income method. Now we are going to learn expenditure method or total outlay method. The expenditure method or outlay method. This is the third method to measuring the national income. Under this method, the total expenditure incurred by the society in a particular year is added together. Expenditure only. Okay, in the income side, all the incomes calculated. In this expenditure method, the total expenditure incurred by the society in a particular year is added together, which is called as expenditure method. To calculate the expenditure of a society, it includes personal consumption, expenditure, net domestic investment, government expenditure on consumption, as well as capital goods and net exports. Symbolically, we can say GNP equal to C plus I plus G plus X minus M. What are the precautions in this method? Second-hand goods. The expenditure made on second-hand goods should not be included here. We should not be taken into account the second-hand goods. Purchase of shares and bonds. Expenditure on purchase of old shares and bonds in the secondary market should not be included. Like a second-hand goods, this also, the bonds, purchasing shares, everything should not be included. Transfer payment. Expenditure towards payment incurred by the government like old age pension should not be included here. So old age pension, LIC policy, like that. These are all transfer payment. It should not be included. And expenditure on intermediate goods. Expenditure on seeds and fertilizer by farmers, cotton and yarn by textile industries are not to be included to the avoid double counting. So the expenditure on seeds and fertilizer by farmers. So cotton and yarn, cotton into yarn, yarn into garments. So each and every stages the expenditure happening here. But in the textile industry are not to be included because avoiding double counting. That is only expenditure on final product are to be included. So when we are purchasing the garments, that time only we have to calculate it. So don't go through the step by step expenditure happening. That's why they say expenditure on intermediate goods. Able to understand? Okay. Next we are going to see FC. What is FC? Factor cost. MP. Market price. See here, there are a number of inputs that are included into a production process when we producing goods and services. These inputs are commonly known as factors of production and include things such as land, labor, capital and entrepreneurship. These are the factors we know that, which is called as FC, factor cost. Producers of goods and services incur a cost for using these factors of production when they are purchasing. What is factor cost? In short, FC. There are a number of inputs that are included into a production process when producing goods and services. These inputs are called factors of production. It included the four factors we know that: the land, labor, capital and entrepreneur. Producers of goods and services incur a cost for using these factors of production. So when they are using these factors in their production process, these costs are ultimately added into the price of the product. Okay, all the cost incurring in the production process, that and all added into the prices of the products. The factor cost refers to the cost of production that is incurred by the firm when production of goods and services. Examples of such production costs include the cost of renting machines, purchasing machinery and land, paying salaries and wages, cost of obtaining capital, and the profit margins that are added by the entrepreneur. These are the examples of production cost. It may be factor cost. The factor cost does not include the taxes that are paid to the government, since taxes are not directly involving in the production process and therefore are not part of the direct production cost. Here we should know about the tax. Okay. So the factor cost does not include the taxes that are paid to the government, since the taxes are not directly involved in the production process. However, subsidies received are included in the factor cost, as subsidies are direct inputs into the production. Suppose government providing subsidies to the entrepreneur, which is direct inputs into the production process. That's why it also included as a factor cost. So you should know about the factor cost. I hope that you learnt what is factor cost. Now we are going to market price, MP. Once goods and services are purchased, they are sold in a marketplace at a set market price. The market price is the price that consumers will pay for the product when they purchase from the sellers. So willing to purchase from the sellers. The sellers are also willing to sell at a given price. Taxes charged by the government will be added into the factor price, while subsidies provided will be reduced from the factor price to arrive at the market price. In the factor cost, we are including the subsidies. Here, in the market price, the subsidies are not included here. Taxes are added on because of the taxes are cost that increase the price. If the taxes increasing by the government means that added tax and all going to add in the prices of the commodity. And subsidies are reduced because subsidies are already included in the factor cost. That's why here we should not consider the subsidies and cannot be double counted when market price is calculated. So here we should concentrate about the subsidies. In the factor cost we should add. In the market price we should not add the subsidies and all. Thus market price is equal to FC plus indirect taxes minus subsidies. This is first equation, or FC equal to MP minus indirect taxes plus subsidies. This is second equation. You able to understand? So national income NNP at factor cost. See here, NNP at factor cost, which is value added by all the production enterprises within the domestic territory of the country, minus depreciation. What are the depreciation? Wear and tear, replacement of machineries, everything coming under depreciation, minus net indirect taxes plus net factor income from abroad. This is called as NNP at factor cost. Here note that if entire output is sold within the year, when value of output will be equal to sales itself, or value of output equal to price into quantity sold, we can find out the total output. So GDP at market price is private final consumption plus government final consumption expenditure plus gross domestic capital formation. Then we have to add net export, which is export minus import. Understood? Let me move importance of national income analysis. The national income is of great importance of the economy of a country. Nowadays, the national income is regarded as account of the economy, which are known as social account. Underline it. This is also one more question. So, national income is also known as social account. It enables us to know the relative importance of the various sectors of the economy and their contribution towards national income. We should know about the relative importance of the various sectors like agriculture sector, secondary sector. Okay, every sector's contribution to the national income we should know through the three methods of calculating national income. And from the calculation of national income, we could find how income is produced, how it is distributed, how much is spent, how much saved or taxed. Everything we should know. Everything we can know through the national income. To formulate the national policies such as monetary policy, fiscal policy and other policies, the proper measures can be adopted to bring the economy to the right path with the help of the collecting national income data. You know that the balance of payment, isn't it? I said to you, through the balance of payment, we can calculate the income method. So to know for policies or formulate policies such as national monetary policy, fiscal policy and other policies and all. Through the data, collecting all the data of a country, we can understand. To formulate planning and evaluate plan progress, it is essential that the data pertaining to a country's gross income, output, saving and consumption from different sources should be available for economic planning. To build economic models both in short run and long run. Whether which is a long run or short run, we can understand about the economic models. How can they building the economic models? Who? The government. And then to make international comparison, interregional comparison and intertemporal comparison of growth of an economy during different periods. So, comparison also we can understand through this national income. To know a country's per capita income which reflect the economic welfare of a country. And to know the distribution of income for various factors of production in the country. So how much factors of production distributed in a year, we can understand. To arrive at many macroeconomic variables, namely tax, GDP ratio, current account deficit, GDP ratio, fiscal deficit, GDP ratio in fiscal deficit, and debt minus GDP ratio, etc. So, how can these are all arriving in the national income? We can understand about these. So, these are the importance of national income analysis. Dear students, go through the two videos, watch the videos carefully, understand the concept well, and take notes as I said to you. Okay? Then today test is 2 marks and 3 marks from the first lesson. You have to write the test and send to me and send your task completed in the group. Thank you.